This story caught my attention, and Milwaukee is going to have to take an L for this. I'm going to give you guys some details. They're going to be difficult to listen to, but I believe that this baby deserves to have a story told. Um, have no idea why this happened. I could speculate and I could be wrong. But before we get into the details, if I use some foul language, do not let that run you away. I don't want to use my I don't want to lose my monetization YouTube. So, this content is not intended for children. Okay? I think that's a clear enough disclaimer. Mommy of four, give us the details. Let's get it in.
Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, new website articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer.
So, the website we are using for this article is wisn.com. N as in Nancy. So, thank you for the article. Let me get that off my screen. A Milwaukee mother has been charged in the death of her 3-year-old son, and his name that you just saw on the screen. I don't know what that is on her lip. I don't know. That looks like it's infected. Like that shit on her lip got some shit on it. I don't know what the hell that is. But let's go back to this picture, to this baby right here. DeQuarius Berry, Berry, and I will get to his name, and I don't mean any disrespect to this baby, but I will tell you this, and you guys have heard me speak about this before. I believe that a name is the most important thing you can give a human, you can give a child. That designation is going to follow them for the rest of their life. Therefore, I believe that everyone should name their children something that means something. What does DeQuarius mean? That name doesn't mean anything at all. That's of no fault of that child. That's the name that the mother gave this child. Why would I bring that up? I know black people might be watching this. They might be thinking like, well, damn, Jay, that's a little bit harsh, right? No, I don't think it is. And here's why. Because of the actions that I believe that this woman, y'all said that's herpes on her lip. I don't know. We're going to speculate, okay? But I believe that that shows her level of disregard. If you can't even give your child a name that means something, I just believe that you don't care about your kids, and I think that ended up showing in her actions. Okay? Now, she's been charged with the death of her 3-year-old son, DeQuarius Berry, after he was found unresponsive earlier this month near 29th Street and Concordia Avenue. That doesn't mean she's guilty, but she's charged. Therefore, that means that they have evidence that they believe they can present in court to prove that she's guilty. Her name is Zaquita Joyner Murphy. Again, that name. Look at her actions. What does her name mean? Zaquita. What the hell does a Zaquita mean? Maybe I'm poking at nothing, right? But I just tend to think that we should give our kids names that mean something. And Zaquita is what? What the hell does that mean? You want it to stand out. You want it to be a name that immediately you know that person is black. And you think that's a great thing to make people not want to blend in? Well, blending in is something that actually works better for our society when it comes to raising family and raising kids and following the law and buying things and being able to cook and live in harmony in society. You know, it usually works better when you blend in, when you're going to interviews, when you can blend in, when you work for a company or when you start a business, if you can blend in. Usually being the sore thumb that sticks out is usually not a bad thing, or the sore lip that's got some shit on it. Okay. You don't want to be the lip that's got some red stuff on it, okay? She's 34 years old, and prosecutors have charged her with child neglect resulting in death. According to a criminal complaint, the mother, Zaquita, said on November the 6th around 5:40 a.m. she was getting her other 4 children ready for school. Do I need to say that again? Yes, I think I'm going to say that again to make sure that the people in the back heard what I said. She was getting her other four children plus one. 5 at age 34. It's too many kids, too much stress, not enough stability, probably no man in the house. Not a biological father of any of these kids. Just saying. She was getting her other 4 children ready for school. She claimed that Dequarius was awake and appeared to be fine. She claimed. She also said that other than being sick 2 weeks before with the stomach virus, Barry was in good health. Joyner Murphy, the mother, says she then left to drive the other children to a bus stop for school. She returned home after claiming to be gone for 10 minutes or less. When Joyner Murphy arrived back home, she went to check on her son, Dequarius. She went to check on Dequarius. According to the complaint, Dequarius at that point was lifeless and had a faint pulse. Dequarius was taken to a hospital where doctors found a large hemorrhage in his abdomen and would have been caused by a non-accidental trauma. Investigators said the injuries Barry sustained showed complete, utter disregard for human life. Barry died at the hospital. Now, during the interview with police, the mother said that there were only 3 caretakers for the children, according to the complaint: herself, her boyfriend, and a woman who lived upstairs from them. Mom's boyfriend. She's going to probably try to blame it on him. Maybe she's going to blame it on a bathtub. Who knows? The mother told police she was a bartender and worked from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. to raise money for her kids. She's a bartender who works from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. What is wrong with that story? What is wrong with that picture? Now, maybe this is a cheat sheet for me because I've worked in the clubs and that immediately was a red flag to me. The thing that stood out to me, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. after hours. That's after hours, an after hours bar, after hours club, or maybe even some illegal shit. Bars are closed in almost every state by 1:45 a.m. in the morning. Right? So if you're going to be a bartender, if you're going to do that, why would you not at least be a bartender from the hours of 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.? Last call for alcohol. Y'all know I'm a DJ. Y'all not got to make that call all the time. Very few places are allowed to operate in after hours anymore. And on top of that, y'all said from 2 to 5, that's 3 hours. How much money you going to make in 3 hours? I guess you could. But you're talking about trying to take care of 5 children. And so what the hell do you do with the rest of your time? Besides doing things that cause red herpes looking marks on the top of your lip. Raising money for kids and you work 3 hours. So what were you doing with the other 21 hours of the goddamn day? I digress. Maybe you can make an honest day's living in 3 hours a day. What do I know? And I'm pretty sure that club ain't open 7 days a week. Anyway, she would get back from work just before 6 a.m. She would ask the upstairs neighbor occasionally to check on her kids while she was working. So did she leave them alone, or was that... Let me say that. Let me read that again. She would ask her upstairs neighbor to occasionally check on the kids while she was working. Does that not sound like she left the kids alone? Because if the boyfriend lived there, then why wouldn't the boyfriend between the hours of 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. be able to watch the damn kids if he's at the house? So if he's not at the house, then where was she? So no one was there. Red flag. No one was there. The upstairs neighbor eventually spoke with police and said she was living on and off there, but she was staying with her grandmother from November the 5th to November the 7th, so she wasn't responsible for checking on the kids during those days. Police later confirmed the neighbor was at her grandmother's house through surveillance video, according to the complaint. Does that not sound like another Kelly Marie Bryant story, abandoning her kids? And all of these other badass parents who abandon their kids. The complaint states that Zaquita Joyner Murphy was with her children during the day on November the 5th and that they were all fine. At 10:30 p.m., she left her home to pick up her boyfriend. The two returned to her home and hung out until around midnight. Afterwards, they went to get food. Joyner Murphy, Zaquita, the mother, admitted to leaving her 5 children home alone during this time. So I was right. Said I hit it right on the nail on the head. Thank you. She left her 5 children home alone during this time, according to the complaint. Both Zaquita and her boyfriend returned to her home at 1:30 a.m. so she could go to work from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Her boyfriend was with her the entire time while she was working. Let me read that again. She went to work and he had to go to work with you for 3 hours? For what? What were you doing, ma'am? You know what? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Jennifer. Look at what she posted in the chat. Boyfriend sounds like her pimp. Come on now. Look, I've been in plenty of strip clubs. I've been in plenty of after hours. I understand what this is. He had to go with you for 3 hours. Sounds like you was out selling your box. Or you was out stripping at after hours. Said pimping ain't easy. This is pimping whole vibes. So I'm glad y'all have been listening to me for long enough to tell some of my crazy stories, and y'all caught that. Y'all caught that. This totally sounds mischievous and devious and disgusting. Y'all both had to go work for 3 hours at the same bar. Bartender. She's not a bartender. I can tell you that. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. Where am I at? Both Zaquita and her boyfriend returned to her home at around 1:30 a.m. so she could go to work from 2 to 5. Her boyfriend was with her the entire time while she was at work. Before leaving, she claimed she yelled to her neighbor to watch the kids, according to the complaint. She yelled. In the day and age of smartphones, where you could damn near get a free government smartphone, even if you ain't got no money, and you're yelling like this is like freaking Coming to America in 1991. Good morning, America. When they returned home around 5:45 a.m., Zaquita, the mother, said she some of her kids for school or whatever. I think they wrote that wrong. According to the complaint, Barry also woke up during this time while sitting on a couch. Barry was still on the couch when she left to drop her kids off at the bus stop. Her boyfriend was sleeping in her bed, according to the complaint. Some of her kids were picked up by the school bus in front of the house at 6:30 a.m. At 6:40 a.m., she drove the other two children to a corner to be picked up by another school bus. Once those children were picked up, she drove to a corner store to pick up food for Barry, which is the boy, Dequarius, the little son. According to the complaint, when she turned home, Barry was asleep on the couch. The complaint did not give a specific time when she returned home. The mother then took a shower and then went to change Barry. At this time, she realized Barry was unresponsive. So you went to get him food, but you didn't check on him at all? Before work, after taking the kids to school, then going to get him food, but yet he's unresponsive. She then told her boyfriend to call 911 as she began CPR on her son. A detective confronted Zaquita, the mother, with the fact that her neighbor was not at home 47 minutes into her interview with the detective. According to the complaint, the mother confirmed that she left her 5 children alone the night of November the 6th to the morning of November the 6th. Investigators are still looking into Barry's death. Prosecutors wrote at the time of the filing that the complaint that the mother was one of 2 suspects who had the opportunity to inflict blunt force trauma to the boy's abdomen. It's unclear who the second suspect is in the complaint, but they might be trying to pin that on the boyfriend. The mother appeared in court Saturday for an initial appearance, wearing an anti-suicide smock. The court commissioner set her bond at $50,000, which I think is too low. I am confronted by an extremely serious case involving the death of a child as a result of a significant amount injury, I guess, to the abdomen and substantial internal bleeding with very limited explanation in the criminal complaint, except that the child was under the care of the mother, said Milwaukee County Court Commissioner J.C. Moore during the mother's initial court appearance on November the 15th. If convicted, Zaquita Joyner Murphy could face up to 25 years in jail. Family told the news Kendall Keys Joyner Murphy's boyfriend. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa. The family told the news that Zaquita's boyfriend was arrested at the hospital on a probation violation. Oh my God. Thug boyfriend, not by way of skin color, but by way of actions. So if he's on a probation violation, I want to know what his probation was for. What was he originally arrested and sentenced to prison for? If it had anything to do with kids, he might not have been supported to be around children. Probation violation. So she had a thug around her kids. Y'all heard that. The district attorney's office said that it had not received a referral for charges against him on November the 13th. Had not. So Dequarius' grandmother said that the other children are now in the care of family members. I would definitely love more confirming information about this story. Y'all do me a favor. Please hit that thumbs up and share this video so more people can see it. Please do that. Here we go. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
If y'all would, if you're listening from a TV or a tablet, phone, whatever you're watching, do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up, highlight it, smash that thumbs up to share this video, make it go viral. Please continue to share these stories, okay? Here we go. Only got a couple of news videos. Let's go.
Also tonight, we're learning more about a 3-year-old boy found unresponsive at his Milwaukee home. Prosecutors charged his mother, Zaquita Joyner Murphy, with neglecting a child causing death. Joyner Murphy saw a court commissioner for the first time Saturday wearing an anti-suicide smock. Prosecutors say she left her 3-year-old, Dequarius Barry, and 4 other kids at home alone overnight as she worked as a bartender. Criminal complaint alleges she told police she got home and found Barry unresponsive with foam in his mouth.
He was rushed to the Children's Hospital, and exploratory surgery revealed massive abdominal hemorrhaging. He later succumbed to those injuries. An autopsy revealed a transected small intestine and torn mesentery, the result of significant blunt force trauma.
Prosecutors say Joyner Murphy, one of two suspects who could have beaten the boy, her boyfriend, also taken into custody on a parole violation, has not yet been charged for this case.
A Milwaukee mother faces criminal charges in the death of her 3-year-old son. Prosecutors charged Zaquita Joyner Murphy with child neglect resulting in the death of her 3-year-old son, DeQuarius Barry. First responders rushed to the family home near 29th and Concordia last Thursday, finding DeQuarius unresponsive. Investigators executed a search warrant at the house and arrested Joyner Murphy in the days after his death. This afternoon, her first court appearance in an anti-suicide smock. Prosecutors say she left her 5 kids at home unattended for hours.
They went to a bar and came back home at 5:45 a.m., where they found DB unresponsive. Ms. Joyner Murphy ultimately confirms that she left her 5 children alone, unattended, without adult supervision from midnight to 5:45 on the day of this incident.
The fact that she left the children to go work at a bar, she didn't just go to a bar, and like these details being left out are somewhat questionable. I know it doesn't make for as good of a story that she was out working in order to earn money.
The court commissioner set bond at $50,000.
Our big story tonight, new details in the death. Injuries medical experts found on the boy weren't caused by accident.
Complete, utter disregard for human life. That's what a search warrant filed in the case of a 3-year-old boy's death says about the circumstances surrounding the injuries that killed him. DeQuarius Barry died Thursday morning after first responders discovered him unresponsive at a home near 29th and Concordia. According to the warrant, it's his mother who called 911 Thursday morning. It says she left Barry in the care of her boyfriend while she went to drop her other kids off at school. When she got back, the warrant says she found the boy, quote, on the floor, lying on his back and foaming from his mouth. The warrant also says her boyfriend was still there.
That's not right, man.
Investigators say Barry was rushed to Children's Wisconsin, where he later died. And it was the staff there that discovered a large hemorrhage in his abdomen, which the warrant says would have been caused by non-accidental trauma.
That's horrible.
Police say a 34-year-old woman was taken into custody Monday night. And PD records show that woman was arrested on a recommended charge of child neglect, causing death.
And again, the woman in custody has yet to be formally charged, but police did confirm charges will be reviewed by the DA's office. Barry's aunt also created a GoFundMe to help with burial expenses for her nephew. That's linked in this article on our website. Kim?
Steph, heartbreaking story. Thank you. New at 9, the man charged with shooting and wounding a Milwaukee officer in January of 2024.
And found the young boy unresponsive inside. Tonight is where we find 12 News' Kendall Keys live. And Kendall, you've uncovered new details about what happened that morning.
Right, Blake, a search warrant revealing investigators searched this home for evidence, and the warrant was returned on Monday, the same day police records show the boy's mother was taken into custody.
It's just really sad to find out that he was just dead in the house.
Neighbors near 29th and Concordia shocked last week learning about the death of 3-year-old DeQuarius Barry.
And it's just really, really sad to find out that he's no longer with us. That's trouble anytime you lose a kid.
12 News obtaining a search warrant that names Barry's mother as 34-year-old Zaquita Joyner Murphy. According to the warrant, Murphy said she had just dropped her other 4 children off at school Thursday morning and returned to find the boy unresponsive and not breathing. According to the filing, she said she had left him in the care of her boyfriend and called 911. Medics rushed Barry to Children's Wisconsin, where he was pronounced dead. Doctors finding a large hemorrhage in Barry's abdomen that would have been caused by non-accidental trauma. Injuries investigators say showed complete, utter disregard for human life. Neighbors shocked to learn the little boy's death ruled a homicide.
Always smiling, always dancing. This was a happy damn kid, man. This guy kind of like loved life.
Police Tuesday confirming they arrested a 34-year-old woman in the case. 12 News checked jail records showing the boy's mother, 34-year-old Zaquita Joyner Murphy, is in police custody, held on the suspected charge of child neglect causing death. The district attorney telling 12 News they're now reviewing the case.
And Kendall, we also know tonight the mother's boyfriend is also in custody.
Right, Blake, the boy's grandmother telling me the boyfriend was arrested at the hospital that Thursday morning. Now, according to online Department of Corrections records, he's being held on a probation violation. And the DA's office tells us they have not received a charging referral related to him. And police say the only charging referral they've made related to this case is against that 34-year-old woman. Now, the grandma also told me that the other children are now in the care of other family members.
Just a heartbreaking story the whole way around. Kendall Keys live in Milwaukee for us tonight. Thanks, Kendall.
So we had to deduce some things, even though we're speculating that we think that the mother was being pimped. But here's the thing. I do not have sympathy for HOES, for what do they call them, 504s? I don't have, whatever you call it, I don't know. I don't have any love for them. I don't have any respect for them, right? I don't have any sympathy for them. And there's still no reason for them to neglect, abandon, abuse, or anything like that to their kids. And I think that they just need to be held fully responsible for it. It just needs to be punished. It's just that simple. Because that's the only thing that these people seem to understand. Giving them harsh words and all of that stuff, they don't understand that. All they understand is punishment. Right? And so for what this boy suffered, and for whatever, it's a 304, whatever, I don't know what it is. That's that young folks slang to me. These 304s. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, look, I just think it needs to be punished. Whatever happened to this boy, I don't think we're ever going to get the truth out of her. You know, if we get that out of her, I'd be totally shocked. But whoever's responsible, get them all prison time, get them all out of here. And keep those other children, those other 4 children, in your prayers, because guess what? Somebody who doesn't have a DNA tied to them, actually, you know what? If they're with the family, then maybe they do. So if they're not in CPS custody, if they're with the family members, then at least family can raise them. And hopefully they can raise them and let these kids grow up and become something great. Okay? But to this young man, Aquarius, young Prince, RIP. But thank you guys so much for listening to his story. Thank you.